Hello, everyone. When I graduated from university, my first goal was to have savings that I could feel more financially secure. I tried to improve myself in finance and stock exchange. I even took it a little further and devoted all my time to research in the finance sector. Of course, it is not very easy to be completely financially free, but having a financial savings is an element that gives us confidence both in choosing a job and when we need money in a sudden situation. For this reason, I explained the 10 steps that can be taken on the road to financial freedom in this video. I wish you a good time. If we want to increase our savings level, the best step we can take is to increase our income level, of course. Increasing the income level is more about improving ourselves, because there are jobs that need to be done for them and they look at whether we can do them. However, it is only possible for us to be promoted, to increase our salary, to move to different sectors and different fields, to invest more in ourselves and to specialize in different fields. For example, learning a computer program related to our profession, improving our English, improving ourselves in Excel, to follow the current developments in our sector, to learn how people working in our field in different companies do business, or how people in different departments in the same company do business. All of these are elements that will contribute to our equipment and help us to be promoted and increase our salary in the long term. For many of us, it may not be possible to be promoted in our current job and increase our salary because there is a certain limit to the salary they can receive, especially for civil servants. Even in the private sector, there may be issues dominated by political elements, so our field of action may be limited. Then what we can do is to create additional sources of income can be an ideal solution. Of course, sources of additional income will be different for everyone. It is not possible to define a fixed prescription here, because everyone's characteristics, abilities, and opportunities are different from each other. But it is still possible to do certain jobs related to our expertise on different sites, such as Upwork, Freelancer, to employers, and do this as a second source of income. This will both provide us with an additional income outside our main job and offer an alternative. If we lose our main job, it will also help us to survive for a certain period of time. So how much time do we spend to better manage our savings and multiply our wealth with a combined return? Do we recognize different investment instruments? Do we know how much they have the potential to bring in or how risky they are? Probably the vast majority of us do not have enough information on this subject. So investing in financial literacy, improving ourselves, and making use of various sources would be a very profitable investment area. On this YouTube channel, I introduce investment instruments and share strategies on portfolio management with many different videos. I think it may be useful to you on my channel. If we have an investment plan, it is possible to know how much we need to save or how to evaluate this money with which investment instruments, and where we will reach in a year, 5 years, 20 years. In addition, if we have a plan, we can be more disciplined and we can compare the planning with the realizations and make an evaluation at the end of each year and even revise our plan if necessary. And we will also have information about where we are heading and whether we need to make a change in our savings plan. In other words, we become much more conscious and motivated. When we follow social media and television channels, we encounter dozens of different content that bothers us and demoralizes us every day. And these both bother us and cause us to waste time seriously, because there are things that we can change in life that we can realize, and there are issues that we have no influence on. Of course, it is not wise to waste time on issues that we have no influence on. There will be a situation such as both loss of time and loss of morale. Of course, we should think about what we can experience in the future, and accordingly, we should bring different alternatives to the fore in our investments. But after doing this, there is no point in unnecessarily following and discussing the agenda with people every day and bothering us. Our goal is financial freedom. We know how much we should save and how we should utilize those savings. We will proceed on this path. This will be our main source of motivation. When we think of many people, we see that they adjust their expenses according to their income. There are even some who receive high salaries and cannot get rid of debt and spend all the time. However, if we do the opposite, if we live one step below our income, maybe we will have difficulty at first. This is not a very easy thing, because our income is already low. Living one step below it requires serious sacrifice. But imagine that you earn $10, you spend $8, and save $2. The two may seem small at first, but they accumulate over time. As they accumulate and we utilize them in the right investment instruments, they will turn into income for us. We will have the chance to increase that $10 income to $12, $15, and $20 over time. What happened was that I both saved and improved my quality of life. Look at what many people around you are doing. They live to pay rent. Why couldn't they own a house? Whereas that house allows the owner to get richer or to manage life. Remember that the poor work for money and money works for the rich. Making money work for you will be a wise financial solution. Managing our expenses correctly, avoiding unnecessary expenses or time management and spending. These are also important issues in terms of financial freedom. I also think about the people around me. They never use the product they buy. For example, they buy a dress, throw it in the closet, and never wear it or wear it once. We come across such things a lot. Or he buys an electronic item. He doesn't actually need it. He doesn't use it much and stands aside. Cutting down on such expenses and living more simply can also be beneficial for us in terms of saving. On the other hand, we sometimes come across this. We will buy something cheap. For example, we will buy something for $20. We do research for hours. But if our time is more valuable, maybe we can finish shopping immediately without getting stuck on $1 or $2. But if we are going to buy something big, for example, if we are going to buy a house, this time we can be much more meticulous, much more careful, and we can work in more detail by putting many different alternatives on the table. This would be a step that would give us a very high return compared to our time. People who follow the financial markets encounter hundreds of different experts, both on social media and on television. These experts teach us different investment methods or make predictions for different instruments on different topics. Unfortunately, neither these methods nor these forecasts often do not work for us. On the contrary, they even cause us to make losses because there is a serious conflict of interest in the financial markets. Most of the time, the loss of money of the followers makes money for the experts who give them those recommendations. That is, the loss of the followers is the source of the gain of the followed. If we do not act rashly, do not act ambitiously, manage our portfolio in a safer and more stable way by spreading it over time. If we manage our investments, we have a chance to reach our goals with the power of compound return over time. If we act hastily and want to have a huge tree in 3 months, unfortunately, we will lose the seed or sapling. When we analyze successful people, we see that there are also very successful people around them. For example, Warren Buffett is a very big investor, but there's a very big investor like Charlie Munger around him. But let's look at it from another point of view. There are gamblers around us, and we are an investor who is moving forward with the goal of freedom in finance. What if we can be influenced by them and we can go to gambling? But what should we do? If we manage to gather people around us who have the same goal as us, if we make friends with them, and if we make friends with knowledgeable and well-equipped people with reasonable goals, we can learn some issues from them. We can apply them in our own investment life and motivate each other in social interaction. Therefore, having the right environment makes our job easier on the road to financial freedom. In this video, I explain 10 different steps we can take on the way to financial freedom. I hope you enjoyed it. Apart from this, many different videos on the channel contain different investment methods and the necessary information to manage the portfolio more effectively. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel to be notified of future videos and click the like button to support us. Thank you for your attention. Until we see you in the next video, stay safe.